In this video, we'll be taking a look at a few chart analyses to get you prepared for the week ahead. If you love the content as usual, please like, subscribe, and leave your thoughts in the comment section down below. If you're interested in learning trade Forex like a professional, check out our course on Udemy. I have the links attached in the description below. And if you aren't part of our community yet, try as much as possible to join our Discord. It's totally free. You want to learn a lot and get to interact with professional traders within the community. So we started with the gold chart on the daily time frame, and as you can see, we just tapped into this area of value as anticipated from our earlier weekly analysis. So coming to this area of value, I think there's a good chance we start heading higher, right? So price moves in waves, so I think we're going to go higher right now after bouncing off of this area of value. Meanwhile, on the RSI, remember this is daily time frame, we have the RSI extremely oversold, which means there's a good chance the bulls might be coming to the market now with extreme strength. So I think there's a good chance to go higher, and I'm going to go down to the lower time frame to show you what I'll be watching out for to get into this trade, right? So going down to the 2 hours time frame, for example, which is where I'll be picking my entries from, following the fact that we just bounced off of this significant area of value. Mind you, let me just go to the 1 hour time frame because this is where I pick my entries from. You can see we just broke out from a symmetrical triangle of sorts. So I'm just going to adjust this real quick. So this gives us some sort of a support level, so the chart pattern looks clearer, right? So this is a descending triangle, right? So sloping highs with lower highs and a firm support level with price giving us this bullish breakout following the NFP results from Friday. So right now we are consolidating and forming some sort of bullish flag, which gives me the impression that we're going to go higher, making a move like this, and probably to this area of value over here. So I think the next stop for gold is probably around these highs or around these lows. And I don't see any reason why I wouldn't be jumping into this trade right now. So when market opens, I'm going to jump into this trade. I have very good risk management, and my stop loss is going to be around these lows, around 200 pips, right? And my target is going to be around these highs, which is around 400 pips. So a risk to reward ratio of 1 to 2, that's what I'll be targeting for gold. Seems pretty conservative to me, right? So if you are too scared to jump into a trade on gold for a buy, then you could wait for more pullbacks, okay? Consolidation like this, better pullbacks, then wait for that second breakout for you to go higher. So if you do this, your entry is going to be around this breakout. Stop loss is going to be below the consolidation that leads to the breakout, which will give you a tighter risk to reward ratio. But in my opinion, I don't think this is going to happen, but it's the market, anything can happen. So I wouldn't be waiting for this setup to happen before I get to the trade. But if you're a more conservative trader, you want to go into lower risk and a tighter risk to reward ratio, then you can watch out for something like this to go long, aiming for these price levels here and this price levels here for gold. So mind you, I wouldn't be going short on gold right now. If anything changes in the market, I'm going to send a chart in our Discord. If anything does not change this week, then maybe in our analysis next week, I'm going to show you more reasons to go short if those price action really presents themselves in the charts. But meanwhile, personally, I wouldn't be waiting for this because I'm sort of an aggressive trader sometimes when it comes to trading gold. So I'm going to jump in on this trade. Like I said earlier, my stop loss is going to be below these lows, and my target is going to be around these highs, which gives me a risk to reward ratio of 1 to 2, so 200 pips to 400 pips target. That's it briefly for gold. Moving on, we're talking about crude oil. So crude oil still in a very good bullish trend, with price making higher highs and higher lows. So I think it is logical to expect some consolidation like this, and then a bearish breakout to go short. So I'm aiming for this area of value here to go long. So mind you, this is a 4 hours time frame. I'm going to go down to the 2 hours time frame to show you what I'm talking about. So this is clearly visible, right? So on the 2 hours time frame, or let's just go down to the 1 hour time frame, because this is where I will be taking my trades. So on the 1 hour time frame, I'm going to be a bit more conservative because we are already trading below this area of value, which is this high, right? So we have a high here, we have a consolidation here, and then a move to the downside. So I'm going to wait for something like this on crude oil. So probably a slow movement to the upside, a consolidation, and then a bearish breakout to the downside. So this is going to be my signal to go short on crude oil. So the pattern might be a symmetrical triangle, a descending triangle, a bearish flag, as the case may be. So whatever chart pattern I get, as far as we tap into this area of value, reverse, consolidate a little and get a bearish breakout, that will be my signal to go short. Stop loss is going to be above the consolidation that leads to the breakout, and my take profit is going to be around these lows. So these I'm going to trade crude oil this week. I'm going to be a little bit more conservative, patient, and try to get the best possible trade entry for crude oil, right? I won't be going long right now until we get into this area of value. Then I'm going to start looking for opportunities to go long if those opportunities present themselves. So something else that could happen is this. So we may not, see price coming back to retest this level. So just in case we don't see that, we could wait for some consolidation below the level like this, giving us that bearish continuation pattern and a bearish breakout. So this would also work for me to go short on crude oil in continuation of this massive bearish move we had all the way from this highs down to the current price levels, right? So this is briefly for crude oil. I know I'm a little bit fast, bear with me because I have so many stuff to do today. So I'm going to try as much as possible to get through this chart as fast as I can, so I can get them ready for you on YouTube, so you can prepare yourself for the week ahead. Mind you, if you're interested in learning trade forex like a professional, check out our course on Udemy. It's going to help you a lot. I have the link attached in the description below. Moving on, we'll be talking about EUR-USD. So very sweet and clean chart. EUR-USD on the 4 hours time frame. You can clearly see we've been trading within a descending channel, right? So we have a high, another one here, then we have lows. So this is a very good trend line, right? Sorry, a very good channel to the downside, a bearish channel. So I'm going to wait for price to get to the upper bound of the channel, give us sign of a reversal, and then look for an opportunity to go short. This is how I'm going to trade EUR-USD. Alternatively, you could take these lows, see how price reacts with this trend line, and go short at the break of this trend line. I know this is a 4 hours time frame. It's a little bit tight, so I'm going to go down to the 2 hours time frame so I show you what I'm talking about. So yeah, so first case scenario, waiting for price to get into this area of value, touching the upper bounds of the channel or not, then consolidating in the form of a reversal, taking out this trend line. So I'm going to draw this again. So excuse me, so something like this, right? We get into this area of value, consolidate a little, maybe touch the trend line, then drop, move up like this, then give us that breakout. So entry is going to be around this price level, take profit is going to be around these lows or probably below the bottom of the channel, and your stop loss is going to be above the consolidation that leads to the breakout, and that will put us outside the channel, which means if we get outside the channel, there's a good chance we may likely go higher. That's why it's going to be a good point to set your stop loss. So alternatively, if you don't want to wait for price to come to this level, you could watch out for a price appreciation into this area of value, probably tapping into these higher bounds of the channel, get a reversal candlestick. So this could be a doji, it could be an engulfing candle, which I prefer, right? So I prefer the bearish engulfing candle or the bullish engulfing candle. But in this case, since we're in a downtrend, I would prefer a bearish engulfing candle to give me an indication that we are going lower, and that's going to give me a tighter risk to reward ratio, because my entry is going to be at the close of the formation of the bearish engulfing candle. Stop loss is going to be at the above the highs of the bearish engulfing candles, and my take profit is going to be around these lows. So this gives a tighter risk to reward ratio if it happens like this, and you hold your positions while we go lower. So that's for the bearish case scenario. So for a bullish case scenario, I'm going to simply wait for a good breakout above this area of value, consolidate a little on top this price level, and give us a proper breakout to the upside, which would mean trading above the higher bounds of the channel or trading entirely outside the channel. So something like this would be my signal to go long. If this doesn't happen, I'm going to stay bearish on EUR-USD, right? So this is what I'm watching out for on EUR-USD for the bullish case scenario, and what I explained earlier is what I'm watching out for the bearish case scenario, right? So moving on, we're going to be talking about Nasdaq, right? So Nasdaq, real quick, this is a this price moving within a bullish flag, right? So if you zoom out, for example, like this, if you zoom out, you can see we had a bullish move, and now we have price consolidating within these price levels, right? So this is going to be my signal to go long if we break above these higher bounds of the pattern, right? But meanwhile, I am bearish because of the macro outlooks across the US economy. So we're going to follow the chart wherever it leads. So right now we seem to be having a bullish breakout from this rectangle. So this is a rectangular pattern that formed just at the bottom of this bullish flag, right? So I'm going to go down to the lower time frame. Let's see the 2 hours time frame, for example, to see what I'll be watching out for to get into a trade on Nasdaq. So I'm going to be a little bit conservative here, because if you jump into a trade here, it means your stop loss is likely going to be around these lows, and that would be just too wide for a good or a decent trade. So I'm likely going to wait for price to reverse, retesting this resistance level and acting as support, then reverse to the upside, give us a good consolidation, and then a bullish move to the upside. So this is what I'll be watching out for to go long on Nasdaq. First target is going to be around these highs. Second target is going to be at this trend line. So it depends on the price level at which we get to these highs, right? So this is going to be my confirmation to go long for Nasdaq. I'm going to wait for either a retest or a good consolidation as a sign of a bullish continuation before I go long. So right now, I wouldn't be going short. I would only consider going short if we get into this area of value, or we touch this upper bound of this trend line with a confirmation of a reversal. Like I said earlier, a bearish engulfing candle will fit that bill, right? So if we get a bearish engulfing candle, that will be my confirmation of a bearish reversal for a tight risk to reward ratio to get into a short position on Nasdaq, right? So alternatively, we could get a pattern like this. It could be a descending triangle, an ascending triangle, a rectangle, and head and shoulder. As far as we get that pattern with a bearish breakout, that will be my confirmation to also go short if we don't get the engulfing candles, right? So in order to go long, I would not to go long. So besides the explanation I made over here, I would probably wait for price to break out from this trend line, give us a good consolidation above, and then look for an opportunity to go higher. But this is by the wayside, okay, because I don't think that's going to happen this week. So mind you, if we do get price moving into this area of value, then next week we're going to take a review of this chart, and I'm going to show you how I'm going to take advantage of price action. So for now, I'm going to wait for, I'm going to get rid of some of these lines so I can explain more clearly again. So for now, I'm going to wait for either a retest or a consolidation on this price level, the bullish breakout to go long. And when we get to these price levels, I'm going to wait for an opportunity to go short. This is my outlook for Nasdaq this week, right? Moving on, we'll be talking about GBP-USD. So GBP-USD, decent chart. We seem to have broken out from a channel. So I'm going to go down to this is the 4 hours time frame. So I'm going to zoom in real quick to show you what I see before we go to the lower time frame to look for trade entries, right? I still think there's a good chance we come into these support levels. So this is a very decent area of value. So there's a good chance we reverse, right? Maybe hit this area of value and slowly creep to the downside, hitting this area of value before we look forward to going higher. But that's just all about probabilities. So we're going to work with what we have on the chart to see if we can spot out good trade opportunities for the week ahead. So this is the 4 hours chart. I'm going to go down to the 2 hours chart to see if we can get any trade opportunities for next week, right? So decent bearish channel, area of value, breakout, bearish decline, consolidation, and now we seem to have broken out to the upside, right? So right now, I'm going to wait for a good consolidation around these price levels, then a bullish breakout for me to go long. The reason is because we are currently trading around a resistance level, okay, around a high. So right now, this doesn't violate the bearish trend we have on this channel. So the only way we violate this bearish trend is if we get a consolidation around this price level and then a bullish breakout to the upside, which will set our entry around these price levels, stop loss around these lows, and our first take profit target will be around these highs, right? So this would be how I'm going to go long on GBP USD. So there are just so many lines on my chart, so I'm going to get rid of some so I can explain my bearish case scenario for GBP USD. So in order for me to go short, I'm simply going to wait for price to maybe creep into this area of value. So I'm going to zoom in, or zoom out rather. So you can see we have a support level over here. Now, if we get price, excuse me, I'm going to move this a little. Yeah. So if we get price creeping into this area of value and reversing to the downside, then this would be my signal to go short. So I'm either going to wait for a bearish engulfing candlestick or a pattern, a reversal pattern like an head and shoulder, or a rising wedge with a bearish breakout for me to go short. So I'm going to look forward to going short when we come into this area of value on GBP USD. This will be the next possible area of value to look for those short positions. So just in case we don't get there, alternatively, you have to be a little bit more patient, right? So the reason is because we have a good support level over here. So you can see price acted as a support here, acted as multiple support here before bounce to the upside. So if we don't get price appreciation into this area of value, so you could wait for a reversal, a slow reversal to the downside, coming to the support level, consolidating a little and giving you a decent bearish breakout. So this would be another scenario to go short. Stop loss is going to be above the consolidation, a little the breakout, and your take profit target is going to be around these lows, which is our support level or area of value we are watching out for before we look forward to taking significant long positions. So that's it briefly for GBP USD. Lastly, we're going to take a look at US500, right? So US500, this is an index just like the Nasdaq, but right now we seem to be at a very critical price level. Now I'm going to wait for price to slowly creep into the upside, hitting this area of value, see what price does. If we get a bearish engulfing candle or a reversal pattern, then look for opportunities to go short. So this one, I wouldn't be going long on US50 at all, because this is a very volatile asset, right? So I'm really looking forward to a short position because we had series of lower highs, we broke out from this support level, and we are currently trading below the support level. So there's a good chance we even go up, trade above the area of value a little, then reverse to the downside. So this is something the stock market is fond of doing. So I wouldn't be tricked into going long just because we are trading above this area of value, right? So this is just my take on US50. So I'm going to be so conservative with this that I wait for better confirmations before going short. Like I said earlier, I wouldn't be going long because it's a very volatile asset, and I'm going to be sticking with the trend. The trend right now says lower lows and lower highs, which is a bearish trend in my opinion. So I'm going to wait for price to get into this area of value, give us a bearish engulfing candle or a bearish reversal pattern, then I'm going to look for opportunity to go short. So this I'm going to trade US50. Alternatively, we could go above this price level, doesn't really matter, then reverse where I'm still going to look for the confirmation of a short position, then I go short. So that's it briefly for this week's analysis. I hope this content helps. If you love the content, please like, subscribe, and leave your thoughts in the comment section down below. And if you're not part of our community yet, use the link in the description below to join our Discord. It's totally free. Okay, so also follow us on Discord in order for you to follow up with my charts within the week, just in case there are changes to the price action in the markets, right? So that's it from me guys this week. See you next week.